customer is smart enough to understand my phone or my devices used to work one way in the past, and now they work this way today. And so if the network performance isn't where it used to be for whatever reason in their minds, they have the ability to shop around because, for example,
but the T-Mobile network's getting better, B.
Yeah, are you saying they're downgrading the network?
I'm not saying they're downgrading it. I'm saying they're not building it like they should be. And you guys just said the same thing I did. So I don't understand what
I see what you're saying. Okay, so you're saying that should the network start to dissipate, degrade, get weaker, slower, and they're still not building the C-band, then we hold them accountable, right?
I mean, it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
The buck stops. I'm a pretty consistent guy. The buck stops with the consumer when it comes to their wallet. The buck stops with the voter when it pertains to the ballot. Like, we, the people, are supposed to regulate business. We're supposed to regulate government. We're supposed to regulate even each other to some extent. That's the way this particular country is set up. And so what I'm saying is, we, the people, play a part in what goes on out here. Like, we're not absolved. And a lot of times the discussions that we have completely absolve the customer. And that's why I come in and say that's not necessarily the case. That shouldn't be the case. We, the people, are not absolved from the things that happen in this country. We can't just sit back and blame something else. Meanwhile, the same companies that's the grower in the industry. AT&T and T-Mobile have outgrown, for example, Verizon for X amount of quarters. Yet we're sitting up here talking about which one lies the most. Come on. Come on. And so when I say, well, the consumer allows these things, everybody says, oh, well, the consumer. Why is everybody so upset at me for saying what I just said? It is the truth.
We're not upset with you. I think most of us actually agree with you in the premise of the statement. It's just a loose connection specifically to network build. I mean, network performance 100%. But I don't know if people really make the connection to like antennas and radios and stuff. I just don't know.
Yeah. That's true.
What am I going to do? Go to the T-Mobile store and be like, hey, I can't add
where's the
C-band because you guys don't have C-band built on my local site.
I mean, that's true. That's true. I don't think that the average consumer would say that. But as I said a few seconds ago, the average consumer will say, my phone used to speed test, for example, because we know how much T-Mobile customers like the speed test. My phone used to speed test at this particular location at this performance rating a year ago, for example, and now it does it here. What's going on?
All right,
B. So customers are smart enough to do that.
B, check this out. I got 26.1 thousand subscribers. I got 5,000 videos. That's what we got, dog. We're doing our part. We're trying to get people more informed.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. I agree. I'm not saying that every consumer needs to understand the science of wireless networking, but they do understand a good network performance versus a bad one. They understand a degrading network, like they understand those things.
Let me ask Frank on this. Frank would know. When you used to work at the Magenta carrier, did you have customers come in disgruntled, upset, not happy with the network performance, but still stayed anyways, almost in a sign of apathy?
Yeah, absolutely, because of the price. So while I agree with B's sentiment of the consumer can hold the company accountable for their lack of network performance, we also can't say that the consumer controls what antennas and radios get lit up on a tower site. So, like, yes, T-Mobile customers love their speed test and they live and die by what Ookla says in their reports, right? But most T-Mobile customers, even the young cats, like in my age group, when they come to the store, 99% of those consumers don't know anything about what 5G UC is, about what 5G UW is, and about what 5G Plus is. They just care that their phone works and they can make a call and send a text. That as long as that stuff works, they'll continue to pay their bill. So the consumer is doing their part to hold the company accountable. The reason T-Mobile is the grower in the industry is because they're reverting back to what they did before, from 2014 to 2020, before the Sprint merger happened. They're going on price. they're putting up these charts comparing their pricing to Verizon and AT&T and saying save 20% versus this plan, but those comparison charts are not accurate. Take it from somebody that's worked for both companies as a rep. So those numbers and those advertisements are not accurate. Which company lies the most? It's definitely T-Mobile. How do I know? I used to work there, and one of my jobs, as much as I tried to be honest, was to lie to the consumers to get them to sign up. When you knew that the Verizon network was better in a certain area and you had a Verizon customer trying to churn, guess what? You got a higher spiff for getting that Verizon consumer to churn over to T-Mobile, and they would put in an extra $100 in your pocket to get that consumer to switch over. So while I didn't participate in that, everybody else did. And, that's one of the reasons I left. So that's what, as a consumer, where I did my part. But regular consumers aren't going to see that stuff and aren't going to care. They just want their phone to send a text and make a call. They're not going to care about speed testing. They're not going to care about network performance. And they're not going to care about what company builds the best network in their area. They just want their phone to work and their price to be low.
At the end of the day, I think this country does a lot of finger pointing, and it's annoying because we act like we're powerless. Like we as a people, we act like we're so powerless, and we don't have the big guy, the little guy. Oh my God, they're gonna take my panties. Just stop, yo. Come on, man. If we don't like companies, we can make a company bend, like bring a company to their knees. We can do that. We have the ability to stop spending and stop the entire country from moving if we so choose. But we always come with this whole woe is me, and it's just so, man, it just gets under my skin because it's not true. It's not true.
You've got a good point. And that okay, all right, that holds true for a lot of different things. But for, just, and I'm coming off of what Frank said with the whole, I just want my phone to work, do what I needed to do type of thing. It's like the consumer is not paying that much attention, right? I can guarantee if you went around the street and asked consumers, do you know what plan you have with your carrier? A lot of them would have to log into their account and check if they want to tell you. I mean, people are not that invested into their wireless services, and they're only going to do what's most convenient for them most of the time, unless they're hardcore enthusiasts like us.
SMT Nation, it is time for me to introduce to you Aura. Give you guys an incredible suite of cybersecurity protections to keep everything that you do online safe, keeping you safe from identity theft, scams, online threats, including protections for your entire family. They offer pretty much a worry-free trial period. Obviously, the pricing is very competitive, starting at $12 per month. They've got one simple and easy app for you to use. They've got incredible features, $1 million in coverage, 24/7 expert fraud support, transparent pricing, the money-back guarantee at 60 days with a free trial, no strings attached. So with the odds of falling victim to an online crime being 1 in 4, this would change everything. Really should check them out. The financial fraud protection is worth its weight in gold. Help keep your kids protected within boundaries that you set forth for them. Proven to be the fastest, most reliable fraud alert system. And it's as simple as choosing your plan, simply setting up how you're enrolled, and then getting notified for all the things that it's monitoring. Start your free trial now. Use our link. It's down in the description, and it's also here on the screen. Aura.com/Sneed. You guys can click the URL. It's hyperlinked down in the description. And again, it's up here on the screen, Aura.com/Sneed. Protect yourself from all the digital threats that's out there in the world.